Buddha. Siddhartha Gautama, or the Buddha, lived a luxurious life in a rich northern Indian family between 563 and 483 BCE. But he wasn't happy. He learned that suffering was universal among the poor, rich, young, and old men and women. But why do we suffer? The reason we suffer is because of our desires for pleasure. The more we get, the more we want. If we have a big house, next time we will not be fulfilled if we don't get an even bigger house. Bigger cars, more partners, more wealth, friends, subscribers, followers. At no point in our life we can satisfactorily say it is enough. A good example is addiction. If a small dose makes you high today, but you need a larger dose to give you the same high a month later or a year later. In other words, as you experience more, your desires also grow bigger. So life is just an endless cycle of desire, fulfillment of that desire, and more desires. How do we solve this problem? To ease suffering, according to Buddhism, we should nip our wants in the bud by detaching ourselves from our desires for worldly possessions. Don't chase things and be happy in the moment. But it's easier said than done. Everyone says it's a good idea to be content with what you have right now. But curbing your desire is not an easy job. Why is it so hard? Here's when Buddhism gets really interesting and profoundly deep. We all think we are who we are. We have a sense of the self we call me and you. We think it's somewhat solid entity. In Western religions, this self is imparted to us from God. It's real. This individual self is genuine and for the most part unchangeable. According to Buddhism, however, you are wrong. Why? The self or ego is not real. It's just an illusion or a mirage or a temporary imposter attached to your body. You could say like a parasite, it lives on you. What does it do inside us? This imposter self fuels our desires, ambitions, and goals. In other words, it uses us to go out in the world and achieve things, but at the end of the day, we still don't feel fulfilled. Especially when we achieve everything and death hits us. We lose our shit because we went to so much trouble acquiring our wealth, fame, power, and now death is snatching all away from us. It's a bad deal. So what is the solution, Mr. Buddha? His answer might shock you. According to Buddhism, to be truly enlightened and blissful, you have to achieve the nirvana stage, which means we must kill the imposter self. This thing we call the self or ego is the source of all our desires. To not desire anything, we must remove the self. According to Buddhism, our soul is the real thing and also very much universal, while the self is a kind of picture we put in our head every time we are born in our various reincarnations. One way to understand this is perhaps through Mr. Plato, who also said that the idea of things is the perfect form and the real things on the outside is a mere shadow of the real thing. In Buddhism, your soul is genuine, eternal, and universal, while your body or ego are temporary and fleeting. We're not separate from the universe, but a tiny part of a big whole. To become happy and one with the universe, you must detach yourself from your desires and kill the self through meditation, solitude, and rigorous physical and mental discipline. Quote, "A disciplined mind brings happiness." This is very similar to Arthur Schopenhauer's philosophy of the blind universal will, which is a force beyond our control, yet it rules most of what we do in life. There's a disagreement whether Schopenhauer reached the same conclusion independent of Buddhism or Hinduism, or he was influenced by these Indian philosophies. I'll discuss Schopenhauer's philosophy in more detail later on. So according to Buddhism, to be truly enlightened is to not see yourself as a separate self, but part of a bigger whole. Part of conscious universe. So true inner peace comes not from outside, for example by achieving your goals, but from inside once you become enlightened. Buddha's teachings through various forms of Buddhism are incredibly important in most of East Asia. Buddhism has also become one of the most influential philosophies in the West too, as it emphasizes individual inner journey rather than collective prayers in a church. So to sum up, Buddha was a rich, powerful prince but wasn't fulfilled in life and realized that all humans suffer because of our desires. To ease suffering, we should detach ourselves from our desires, and to be truly blissful, we should eliminate the self or ego through meditation and mental discipline.